talk. Real talk.
Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk.
We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk. Real talk. Hell, I want us to talk about it. At least that we can shout about it. We're building our foundation upon truth. I'm thankful now to think about it. Communicate and speak about it. The gospel of salvation is good news. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking, Moorish talk, real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls are talking, Moorish talking, real talk.
Moorish Talk. In 2 weeks on Monday at 7 p.m.
We thank you all for being a part of this show and experience with us, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.
It's first I give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. I give honor to his last and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to all past leaders of the Moorish Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. I give honor to our former moderator, our past moderator and Grand Sheikh, Brother R. Love Ill. I give honor to our present Grand Sheikh and moderator, Brother R. Jones Bey, and to his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. I give honor to all sheikhs, sheikhs, and members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I give honor to our media team, to our members, to our good sister, Vaughn Ill, to my sisters on the panel. Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk. Tonight's topic is the safety of sisters, part 2. I am Sister Ingrid Ill, Temple 71, Washington, D.C.
Islam. First I rise giving praises to our Father God Allah and honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to whom all the sister gave honors to. I give honors where honors are due. I give honors to each and every one of you. I give honors to my sisters here on the panel. My name is Sister T. Britt Day from Washington, D.C., Temple number 71. Peace.
Islam. I give praise to our great God Allah. I give honor to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to everything that my sisters in front of me gave honors to. I also want to give a special honor to our Sisters Auxiliary. We're talking about safety of sisters. So I want to give honor to the sisters, and I want to give honor to the Mufti Corps who have the divine purpose work of protecting the Moors. I want to give honor to our viewers, to our guests, those that are with us this evening. And my name is Sister A. Robin Obey from Temple number 21, Brooklyn, New York. Peace.
Islam. And along with those honors, I have to give honor to Sister S. Johnson Ill, who is the daughter and co-founder of Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk. Islam says. The safety of sisters, part 2. Me being a sister and having a daughter and a granddaughter who I teach how to be safe and the things to do to be safe and to stay safe and what to look for out in the world, if you start to feel unsafe, so on and so forth. So this thought came about because of that and the way of the world. And, it's really dangerous out here for anybody, but especially women. And right now, especially for sisters and brothers right now, to be honest. So we just want to touch bases and touch on being safe and what it is we are doing in our lives, in our homes, at our workplaces, at our temples to be safe. Peace.
Peace. Islam, before we start with that first question, I just want to I want to thank you for bringing the topic up because I think we have to have a conversation.
Mm,
And
Awesome.
by us having the conversation here, I pray that all those that are listening to this conversation has a conversation with somebody else,
mm-hmm.
because sometimes things that we just, we do kind of in our regular, we don't stop and think about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And this is one topic where I feel like you got to bring it up. You got to bring it up. You got to have a
Yeah.
conversation. So my thought is this conversation inspires everyone to talk to somebody about being safe. So I just want to share that.
Mhm. That's right, sis. Praise God.
Do you feel a sense of duty to look out for the welfare of your sisters? And if so, how? I want to take a reading from chapter 3, the holy instructions from the prophet, the social duties. When thou considerest thy wants, when thou beholdest thy imperfections, acknowledge his goodness, O Son of humanity, who honored thee with humanity, endowed thee with speech, and placed thee in society to receive and confer reciprocal help and mutual obligations, protection from injuries, thy enjoyments of the comforts and the pleasures of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others, and couldst not enjoy but in the bands of society. It is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend of mankind, as it is thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. And I do feel like it's my duty. Because let me say this, especially if I see something that I think may uh invite
Mm.
injury or something like that. And something does take place, and I had an opportunity to pull a sister up, or just give her a word of encouragement or something pertaining to safety. I would feel some kind of way that I did not do that.
Mhm.
I think about the sisters on my job.
Mm.
They drive and they go in and out through all types of communities, and
Mhm. People.
we have people out here in
Mhm.
the world that are battling mental issues, and they don't necessarily have to have a reason to do anything to anyone.
Mhm.
Mm.
You got people just doing stuff, spitting, all kinds of things. And some of the sisters on my job, I see them with their designer bags. And I always suggest, why you just don't get a regular waistline, no name, something from like Walmart, just to put your necessities in, or just a regular backpack. Because to me, that designer bag, you're inviting trouble.
Mm.
You inviting trouble. You got all kinds of people getting on and off these buses.
That's right.
And I mean, just to keep yourself safe. They might bop you upside your head to get the bag. I mean, it's no telling what they may go through. So yes, I do feel a sense of duty and responsibility if and where I see where danger could happen. A lot of
Mhm.
times they don't listen. They be like, "My girl, ain't nobody doing that." Okay. But I've done my part. I don't try
Yeah,
and beat them over the head with it, but I've done my part. Peace.
you're right, sis. Because even if they don't get assaulted, right? They gotta go now. They gotta go get all their credentials again. Go get car keys, all kinds of stuff,
All of
driver's
that.
license. And that's a hassle.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
hassle. Then if your phone in your bag, then that's gone too. You know what I'm saying? So you are
Mm-hmm.
absolutely right. Don't put a target on your back.
Right.
Because all a person got to do really, because we all know where people sit their bags at on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who's ever
Mm-hmm.
rode a bus, either right there on that window or right behind their seat. All you
Yes.
gotta do is be strong enough, and them doors, them plexi doors that they put on them buses sometimes. A a a, per, a person that's not right up here don't care nothing about that.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
coming for what they want. So you're absolutely right.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
I do feel a sense of duty because it is my duty
It's
as
it's our
a
duty.
as a human being. Period. I don't live in the world by myself. So it is my duty to look out for those who live in the world with me. It's just real simple, you know.
Yes.
And as a Muslim, like I have to. I have to. I have to look out
Mhm.
for pull them up. Pull them up if I need to. Are you all right? You need a ride? You good? You straight?
Yes.
Before I
Yes.
leave, do you have a way home? You know what I'm saying? You know, so absolutely. Do you have some
Mhm.
clothes? Do you have some food? You know, sometimes people don't want to take take help, right? So
Mm-hmm.
twice a year, I empty my closet and I just set women clothes and shoes and pocketbooks in my hallway sometimes. I know I'm supposed to take it to the temple, but sometimes I start right here in my own community, right? Because I see what's going on. And I end up seeing my clothes in the neighborhood. I've done
Mhm.
I that's what I put it out there for, so somebody could have something to put on. It ain't just about it feeling good. It's just because it's just the thing to do. And yeah, it does feel good. That's just the bonus of it.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, when you said that, it made me think about, when people don't feel like they have, people don't always make good decisions. But if people feel like they have clothes to wear or whatever it is, the shame, the pain, then the
It
the
feels real
feeling
good
of
about
need,
yourself.
and the feeling that I ain't got to go get you to get what I need, changes the
Mm-hmm.
game when we working together. It changes the game when a child feels like they have the same as much as the other person. They ain't got to act out in a different way. To your
Mhm.
question, sis, you feel sense of duty, of course, and we have it. I thought you were going to read it, but you didn't. I thought you were going to take my verse. I was like, okay, that's what I had prepared, which was a holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. The prophet says, if your brother's in adversity, assist
I'm
him.
looking at it now. We on point.
If thy sister is in trouble,
That's right.
forsake
Forsake her not.
her not.
Absolutely.
You brother
Absolutely.
and sisters. I know we talk about sisters, but brothers too. We supposed to help you out. So
Yes.
take our help, and we
Yes.
trying to we trying to help you too sometimes, and like make
Yes.
sure that you don't, because the gift here is, which it always strikes me on this. Everybody want Allah's help, but the way Allah help comes sometimes come through each of us,
One
because it
another.
Mm-hmm.
says, "So shall the fortunes of thy father
That's right.
contribute to
Contribute
the
to the
support of his
support of his
whole
whole
race,
race.
and his care be continued on." Now, if you want his care, you want his fortune, in your love to each other.
Each other. That's right.
So,
Listen,
me
that's the
loving on
only way it
you,
can come.
right? Like my man, he's using us. That's why sometimes we be like, we said this a few shows ago, but call the sister up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you gonna lift this person up, just like you
Yes.
say, tell that person to close their bag. Uh, Maybe they don't know their bag is on their shoulders. I'm a
Yeah,
big, like,
yeah.
your bag got to be underneath your underneath your arm,
Mm-hmm.
zipped up. Don't. That's the way it got to be, because too many people walk around looking for them unzipped bags, and they have
Mhm,
temptation, and they gon'
mhm.
and you don't need to tempt them to think that you are somebody that's ready to be taken from. So
Yeah.
I think we have a duty. I think, like the sister said, it's a responsibility. And how good does it feel when somebody helps you?
Yes.
You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go. There
Yeah.
you go. Because I
Mm-hmm.
definitely have needed help a whole lot, a whole
Mm-hmm.
lot. So how dare I not extend myself to anybody else?
That's right. That's right. I mean, we were just looking at, Sister Birthday's beautiful, beautiful grandbaby, a little bit. And it made me think about, the prophet has here
Oh,
in the infancy stage, you
Mm-hmm.
know, how much help that child needs, so much help. And so
Mm-hmm.
we give so much help when they're young. That help means we still got to help each other, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs help in different stages. Then you go to the decline of life, you need help there too. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't just happen out of magic. So we got to learn to help one another whenever it is. And, you helping your grandbaby and your daughter,
Yeah.
it's just the way we're supposed to be, and
mhm.
it's the way we're supposed to love each other. And so we should want to do that, because, to the question, it keeps us safe too when we know somebody else got your back.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
right.
That's
That's
funny.
right.
I was in the shower. It was yesterday morning, and I was thanking Allah that He trusted in me to be a grandmother, and
Mm.
also to have the opportunity to teach or show or be a good example to her in areas where I may have missed or dropped the ball with my son and my daughter. It's almost like a do-over with grandkids. And I just was thinking about the fact that, he allowed Trayani to be a mom, and he trusted her. He trusted her to be a mother. He's trusting me to be a grandmother. And I just think that that's so honorable. So I was just thanking him yesterday that I get this opportunity. And it's exciting to have
Yes.
that opportunity and to think about some of the things that I get to, you know, kind of assist her as she grows up, little Trinity. I'm so grateful to be a part of that with her. I really am.
I feel
We
you on
know.
that. I had my grandbaby over the weekend. And let me tell y'all, everybody and they mama know how I love me some bugs. Let me tell you,
Hmm.
that since her mama was pregnant with her, it's just been a joy, a blessing, and I'm grateful for one that I came off the street, and for one that I have something to offer her. I have
Mm.
something to offer
Yes.
her
Oh,
today.
yes. Yes. Yes, we do.
She know when she
Yes,
come
we
in here,
do.
we kick off our shoes, we stand in the middle of the floor, we face the east, we put our 7 up, we pray. She don't even have to
Mm.
be told. She just come in here and do it. But I had over the weekend, and I bought her some. She's just now getting her prophet's birthday gifts. So one of the gifts was a Barbie doll dressed as a Care Bear. Now, if you my age or a little bit older or a tiny bit younger, you are familiar with Care Bear. That was our thing in the
Yes.
80s when we were children. Care Bear. To have a Barbie doll dressed like a Care Bear, I was wishing I was about 8 myself, right? I love the little toy, and this is so cute. I want my grandbaby to have this. And when she came over, and she went in the bag, and she was like, and she came over and hugged me real tight. I was so mushy after that. I'm telling you, I didn't want her to ask me why you crying, right? But she went on and finished opening her gifts. But it had me emotional because the gratitude she expressed was mind blowing. It was
I saw
mind
the
blowing.
pictures.
I've seen it on other children, right? But I've never witnessed it with her until like this, until the other day. And I was just happy. She said, I've been looking at this on TikTok, Mima. I wanted this. And I was just so happy I was able to give it to her. And it's my duty to
Praise
make
Allah.
sure that I can do my part to make sure she's happy. It's my duty
Yeah.
to make sure to try to help my daughter in ways that will lighten the load for her, even if it's
Hmm.
just having her for the weekend sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Give
Mhm.
her a little break. And I love being a grandmother. And particularly, I love being her grandmother. Peace.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Mm.
There
You
are
know,
no
I'm not
happenings, sis.
there are no I'm not grandma yet, and I don't want to be grandma right now. They I got
Right.
teenagers,
Right.
but I will but I'll say this,
Yeah.
you
You got a
know,
minute.
I got a minute. Looking at the love that comes from you all when you talk about them, and I'm thinking about the love that they're getting. They're knowing what love feels like. That's safety to know what
Hmm.
love
Yes.
truly
Yes.
feels like. Because the prophet said we got to learn to love instead of hate. And I always think about that because that means that I don't know how to love, or the way we think we need to love is different, particularly sisters. Particularly when you get young and you want to experience love outside of your family. But if you know what love feels like, how when people are thinking about you and gifting you and hugging you and cooking for you and taking care of
Right.
you,
Right.
I pray that that child then knows when they're out in the world what love feels like and
Somebody
can
has me
see
back.
that ain't love.
Yeah.
That's not the way you treat me.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not making me feel safe in my heart, in my head. You treating me wrong. That's
Hmm.
not safe. So
Hmm.
praise
And
Allah for you all
I
doing that.
I feel real grateful. And like I say, I know I've done my part. When her mother, we do exchange out in public opposed to me going to get her from, well, I don't go get them from her house because they live out La Plata. But if my daughter drops her off here, but when I go pick her up from, when we meet at a designated spot, my grandbaby automatically knows once she with me, her hand goes right in my pocket because If I can't see you, that means you're too far away. When we're in the store, if I can't see you, you too far away. She already has that instilled in her. If I'm too far away, Mima can't. If Mima can't see me, I'm too far away. I don't want to upset her because I'm like my mother. When I don't know where you at, I get nervous. I get worried. I need to know where you at all times. And that for her allows her to know that I want her to be safe. She knows I just want her to
Mm-hmm.
be safe. And it's my duty to make sure she knows that I want her to be safe. Her safety to me is important.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right.
Mm. Yeah, her safety to you means she's important because she is important.
She is important.
That's right.
Every single one
Her
of us is
safety is important.
important. So our safety is important. Little, not so little, big and old,
Grown.
right? Grown people, like I think about my
Yes.
daughter. Like, yeah, I need to know where you at because I need to make sure you safe and you okay.
Yes.
That's important. It's a blessing that somebody cares to know where you at.
Mhm. And it
It's a
helps us to not make certain decisions when we know people depend on us. Our presence is wanted and needed, and people
Mm-hmm.
love us and care about us and want us to be safe. It helps us not make crazy decisions because we don't want our loved ones to be harmed by what may happen to us because we were
Yeah.
out
mm-hmm,
here not being safe.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm,
I
We know
love that.
somebody is back in the world. They love us. When nobody has anybody, they're out there doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? They don't have anybody. When you have somebody that they love you, they want you to be safe, they got your back. It helps you to make better decisions.
Yeah.
mm-hmm,
I love that my daughter has um location of
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
me, my son, and my mom. And I remember one time when my dad he panicked, but when he called me, he was sounding cool, but I know he was panicking. I could tell by the call. And he was looking for my mom. And this is when I discovered that Trayani had a location on her. And Trayani was like, oh, she can ready to get on 495. She can ready to go home. She on her way. She coming out of Waldorf. And I was so relieved, when she gave me that information. But I'm so grateful for her having that location. It used to irritate me when she had it on me. I didn't know she had it on everybody. It used to irritate me. But it also kept me straight. It did. I could see that. It kept me straight. But I like that, especially with my parents being older now. I like that she has that their location marked on her phone and keeping up. So it's good to know that my children are down with safety as well, and that they
That's right.
think
Mm-hmm.
like that on their own. So yes.
Good job, Mom.
Oh, thank
Good,
Islam.
you.
right?
Islam.
Because you taught that you teaching that it's important for us. Because sometimes I think we get so independent. I can do it by my, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying that not being independent isn't good, but you need to know that you got your people. People are looking out
Yes.
for one another. Because
Yes.
what the sister
Yes.
said was true. When people don't feel like they need to be, nobody's looking out for them. Sometimes they be
Mm-hmm.
doing some stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about people that are depressed or when they're mentally having some challenges. It's like, well, there's nobody that loves me, and nobody remember me if I were to die. I've heard that, and it's like, wow, for you to think that you could do whatever you want because nobody will remember you or think of you. We have a duty to keep each other safe. We have a duty to let
Yes.
each other know, I see you, I love you, I'm thinking of you. That's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think about when I was younger, my mother used to always ask me, call me and let me know you made it. Not when I was younger. While I'm grown with kids, she used to always, when we would leave her house, she'd say, call me and let me know you made it home. And I had
Mhm.
a very bad habit of that. And I don't want to leave anybody worrying. And I know that's one of the things that girlfriends, friends that I
Mhm.
always say if we're departing, call me, let me know you made it safe. Sister Jones, they always say when we leave in Temple, text me or call me, let me know that you made it safe, and it makes me feel good that somebody is concerned about my
Mhm.
travels, whether it's
Mhm.
daytime or nighttime. It really does make me feel good that somebody is thinking about me in
Mhm.
that way.
Mm-hmm.
Praise God. I thought somebody had a tag on me because it seemed like as soon as, so I have a ritual when I come in. I don't get on the phone right away or tell somebody I made it home. That's not the first thing I do. The first thing I do is pray when I come. I'll take my shoes off, then pray. Then I may have to use the restroom. Then I got to put food up or whatever the case may be. But and then take care of this rabbit and all kind of stuff. And then I get to the point where, oh, I need to let. And if I don't, like in about 10 minutes of me being here, I get the text, you make it home yet? And I swear to God,
Yeah.
you must got a tag on me because every time it's like without fail. Give me a minute, I got you. you know. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I get that text. You make it home
Yeah.
safe.
Very
That's
You
grateful.
know,
right.
Yes, sis.
because I do the same thing. You safe if you gotta go walk your dog. I know it don't take an hour to walk a dog and it's dark. Are you home? Are you safe?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I remember I got a call like that. I'm gonna go walk the dog, and it was nighttime. It was dark outside, and I didn't get I made it in the house text, and I'm calling and
Mm-mm.
calling, and nobody's answering. And I didn't want to say they all right. I couldn't do
Mm-mm.
that. My spirit wouldn't let me sit down and just go on about the rest of
Mm-hmm.
my evening. I had to get in
Mm-hmm.
my car to go make sure because it's my
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. I could not rest. I could not even sit still. I had to go do my part. It's my duty to make sure. If I feel something ain't right, I got to go see about it.
That's
And
right.
yeah.
That's right. Mm. Well, who got a
Has
question?
there has there ever been a time that you had to physically protect yourself from danger?
Well, I'm gonna
What
say,
could you have done? What could you? There's a second part to that. I'm sorry. What could you have? What could have made the outcome different? That was the second part.
Say it one more time.
All right. Has there been a time where you had to physically protect yourself from danger? What could have made the outcome different, if
it's
anything?
when I was driving, when I used to drive the buses and I was on a late night shift, I'll never forget. There was a gentleman and my start point came to me and he wanted to know if I was going through a certain neighborhood and I told him yeah. And so he got on and he rode and mind you, I try to stay away, especially at that time of night, try to stay away of those that are on my bus. And I only had maybe like 2 people that were my regulars that was coming from their government job that was getting off. And so anyway, nevertheless, I noticed that when I went through the community that this young man asked me about, he was still on the bus. And at this point, it's only him and one of my regulars. So it's only 2 people on. And so we riding and now my regular gets old. So now it's just him. And he didn't have a coat on. I noticed all this before we took off. I try not to judge, you know what I'm saying? But I did notice it was in the middle of the winter. He did not have a coat on. He had a t-shirt on. And he just had a look about him. I couldn't put my finger on what the look was, but there was a look. So I just was in my mirror. So now that this is just him on the bus, he came and he plastered his whole body on my shield. And he was saying all this stuff, and I couldn't understand him. Now, mind you, I'm trying to appear to be cool, but I am nervous as I don't know what. And I said, sir, I'm gonna need you to stand behind the yellow line for your safety and mine. And the reflection from the windshield showed me that he was exposing himself. When I tell you, I was so scared. When I pulled up, first of all, I'm at a light and I'm hoping that transit is at the station because the station is like right around the corner from this light. And he is steady talking and he is steady exposing himself. And he kept coming, walking up to, because we have a shield, it was a shield door, but it's glass. And he kept walking up to the glass. When I tell you I came in that station door 55 with leaning the bus and I rode up on the sidewalk. So I had to jump the curb because I wanted to get who's ever attention to
Attention.
protect myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the police came. He got off at the back door. He got off and he got onto another bus. And I had to call our central command and tell them, long story short, they stopped that bus he got off. And they had me to hold my location. They came back and got me, put me in a police car, and I had to sit in the back seat. But they had him stand and face me. He didn't know what he didn't know what was going on. He just saw a police car, but they wanted me to identify him. And he had a record of doing little stuff like that. So, but that was one time. But it was scary. It was very. Although that train station was around the corner, I just was scared. I really was, because I was like, I hope he don't do nothing to me in the midst of me getting there. It seemed like the light was longer, everything. But that was one time that I had to protect myself. I just stayed behind that shield and drove up on that sidewalk. I know they looked at me like, what is she doing? But yeah, peace.
Wow. Peace. We lost our sister. Well, yeah, unfortunately, I've been in some really rough relationships that ended up physical, and yeah, I had to protect myself in the most unfortunate kind of way, right? And sad to say, I had to do that more than once. But what could I have done to for a different outcome? I guess is leave after the first time. But I was sometimes we be in
Praise
survival
Allah.
mode, right? I know
Praise
I
Allah.
know that I was in survival mode, right? And I figured right there was probably better than, I don't know, a park bench or something like that. So we be in survival mode, so we take certain stuff. But I guess if I had a choice, if I think about it, the choice that I would have made was to leave before it happened again.
And real quick, Sister Reverend, before you share, and I didn't share about my outcome, what it could have been. And I guess I could have popped that brake right then and there and got off. But the area I was in already wasn't a great area. It was late at night, wasn't really nobody out. So I don't know if he could have had a better advantage of me. And the other thing I think of, I probably could have had something to protect myself, like mace or something, because I didn't have that. And we were allowed to carry that. So yeah, but sometimes, in situations like that, you really don't be thinking clear.
And that's
I've
only
been in
if the
situations
outcome.
like that. It's easy for me to say, oh, if that was me, I would have did. But I've been in situations where I couldn't even get my mental right. Like, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of
Yeah.
it, I can't get it. I can't get it right. I'm thinking all kinds of things.
Yeah. And that's to say only what could have made the outcome different, if anything, because sometimes the outcome is just what it is.
It's just
Sometimes
what it is.
Sometimes it's nothing different we could have done, really, because it just happened. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and to that, sometimes I feel like we have to go through that experience in that particular way for us to reflect on it so that we can change the conditions, you know. So when that make an outcome different, sometimes I'm not sure about it because I'm like, well, maybe I can't because I need to experience it so I can be able to get that test. So I need to know how to do things a little differently.
Yeah.
So the thought that I was going to share was around I had to really think about this question because there's sometimes with me when I have things that happen I try to kind of move it away, take what I can and move it away. But the thought that came to me the most was around we getting a little feedback. Thanks, Sister Burpe. You got another device?
I'm on it now.
Okay, praise
My
Allah.
was on the camera just now. I'm sorry.
All good, sis. All good. We just got a little feedback. Was when my house got broken into and I got the call And the first, so it happened more than once, but the second time I'm gonna talk about, because I was angry. I was very angry. The door was broken into, and I had, you know, and I was pregnant, I think, at that time, because people yelled at me for going in the house without. I didn't wait for the cops that time. I was very angry because part of it was like, I ain't got a whole lot, right? And I didn't feel like I had a whole lot. And I'm like, why are you up in my space? And it felt personal. That's what it did. It felt
Mm-hmm.
personal. So I went in the back door because it was open and went and grabbed the knife, be honest, and started searching in my house with the thought of, who are you in here and why are you in here?
In here. Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
so all I know is best, they were, by the time you even get the call, they gone. And waiting for the cops, you could be waiting days sometimes. And I was just angry, very, very angry, because I felt like somebody was watching me and watching my house and knew when to get in and when to get out, particularly because it happened twice. Um, and the sad part is that when they did, it wasn't like, we have all money in cash or anything, but they were like looking through the drawers, looking for something. And the first place they go generally is your bedroom. So to walk into your bedroom and see your underwear being touched by somebody else feel horribly violated for me, to know that it's on the floor, it's on the ground, whatever. So that's the thought that it came to me about wanting to feel physically. I felt like a target. So, to the question of what could be done to make the outcome different, I mean, I think at that point we did do some things like, um, change the alarm timer, but the reality is I had to leave my house. And it was clockwork. We both working folk. We got to be at somebody's place at 9 o'clock. House is empty from 9 to 5. So what does that mean? But the other thing I started to do was to talk about it, which talk about that safety and helping one another, because there were people that, like this woman who's retired across the street, who could now be on the
Mm-hmm.
lookout, and letting your community know that, hey, this happened to
Yeah.
me, because they were surprised. And I was like, but if you happen to see anything, or feel free to walk through this, the hedges, we cut them down low so people can see. And we did some things to be preventative. And all I know is that between that and between work schedule, we were able to have because the guy was like, y'all need a different work schedule because your house is vacant from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. They know ain't nobody in there. Whether there's something in there or not, they can probably tell which houses the people ain't there. And so that's some of the things that we did to do differently. But I'll say on a spiritual level for myself as well, because I felt there was a physical safety, but I also felt like there was a spiritual message for myself. And for me, it was, I need to let go of my attachments to things.
Mm.
I needed to let go of my um attachment or my value of physical things more. Jewelry, even sentimental things. Like, I had to let go. That's the work that I did. Oh, she brought in Trinity to come to the show. So that's what I did to do to make myself feel safe and recognize that I'm not of this physical world. So if whatever the situation is, it's going to be all right. And so that definitely helped me.
Praise
Yes.
God.
I want to ask, do you all have a safety plan in place in your homes on a what if certain things was to take place, whether it be a fire or what have you, to keep everybody safe, like where we would exit if it happens, if the fire occurred downstairs or a break-in or what have you, and we're upstairs. I know I have one.
Mm-hmm.
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 I have
Yeah.
one for here.
I have one. It's not a big one because I live in an apartment. It's either hit the
Right.
window or the door. So we all got emergency bag. I got emergency bag packed just in
Mm-hmm.
case. In the emergency bag is 2 pair of pants, a few pair of underclothes, one pair of shoes, some shirts, and some energy bars, a bottle of water, toothbrush, toothpaste, the little travel size one. I put that in there, and some other stuff. But it's when you gotta go, you gotta go. You better unlock that bar on the window and hit it if you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing because California. They
However,
stress that. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. However, not all these windows have locks where you can get out of them. So let me tell you, I've been in this apartment for 9 years. In November made 9 years. In my 9th year, I had just got a fire extinguisher in here. I was told by the property manager that there was a fire extinguisher in the hallway. I said, so if it's a fire in my house, how is that going to help me? Right? That's the only reason I got a fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher. So yeah, you got to advocate for yourself. You know. And I looked around. So wait a minute, it's no fire extinguisher in here. What? So yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I got the fire extinguisher. I got these bags because I was afraid that I don't remember. My children weren't gonna remember how to use it. They have these it's like a blanket, protect blanket, where
Fire
there's a
bag. Yep.
fire, you just throw it on the fire, particularly in the kitchen, because particularly when my children would start playing around the kitchen, I was like, I don't know about this, right? So I have that. I got my go bag, and I was always told keep your go bag in your car because if you need to go, you ain't got to put it
Good
together,
idea.
just roll with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Got the emergency
Yeah, I was
food
going to say
bag,
that too. Thank
emergency
you.
because we got, California, like earthquake, fire, all the stuff. Got the emergency food back in case you can't go nowhere. And
Yeah.
I did, which I should refresh. I did go to a class because I was very nervous around it. If you're stuck and you have to stay in place and you don't have electricity, or if you don't have water, what do you do? Now the prophet says you're supposed to have a 9-day food supply. So that's water and
Mm-hmm.
food. But we have had situation where you can't use your water. You can't go to the bathroom. So what do you do? So, and I remember we did it was a while ago, but I remember learning about that, like things that you should do because you got to go to the bathroom, but if you can't flush for whatever reason, or there's a pipe break or whatever because of the earth, you need to know how to still take care of yourself and be safe. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a hazard. So anyway, I encourage people to do the things, because a lot of that stuff sometimes can be free in your neighborhood,
Yeah.
in your library, whatever, and it feels like it's a boring Saturday or whatever. But I remember a friend of mine doing it, and they kept going. They were doing a whole lot of this, and I was like, I don't want to hear all of this. But something they said made me realize, like, oh yeah, I probably should just give up my 3 hours and go and listen to this thing that they had. And I did it. And then they'll give you free things sometimes because the more you are prepared, not only you taking care of yourself, you might gotta take care of your sister or your neighbor. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And also, I wanted to mention that we were talking about the Ring camera. If you have a Ring camera, you can go on Neighbors, and they post all kind of stuff in Neighbors, so you can see all the stuff, the crimes, the break-ins, the porch pirates, the people who look suspicious. Some people post these things in Neighbors, and if you in your community, in your neighborhood, you might want to go for a walk or whatever. If you watch your Neighbors, you can kind of see what's going on around your neighborhood and your community. That way you can, if you see something that you've seen on Neighbors, you can record it. So I go on there periodically, and check out, see what's going on in my area, just so I can be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotta do when I look at that though. I gotta be honest. I subscribe to like the neighborhood group and this group. Sometimes I gotta sometimes the fear that people will do can be a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
I've had to make sure that I don't let anybody else's fear or their drama go into what I know. And we got to make sure I got to do the best that I think I need to do. And don't forget Allah, Prophet,
That's right.
because
That's right.
sometimes there's a lot of, rightful things that they see, but not everybody, their consciousness around it is about making it worse. And you don't want to fall in that as well. But you want to be safe, you want to
That's
be
right.
secure and safe.
No, absolutely. And thank you, Sister Reverend Obey, for mentioning having the bag in the car,
Yes.
because you are absolutely
Yeah.
right. Because I don't know why I had this bag in the closet.
Well, but you know what I'm gonna tell you? We had an emergency fire. We did fire maybe a year or two ago. No, it had to be. It was a few years ago. The children's school, because they made you give emergency bag at school, and they did the drill, and the children came back. I didn't check that bag. Now that T-shirt did not fit my children at all. So you got to check the bags to make sure, if you have children, that the clothes is not a 6-year-old clothes when you got a 16-year-old. Pants can fit. Because sometimes you gonna need that. You may not have
Mm-mm.
access. So just make sure your stuff is good, and donate the stuff. That's why I'm like, y'all can't use any of this stuff. We're gonna donate these clothes because it's don't work. But have the bag in your car, in your trunk, so when you're ready to go, you can go. And I've always told Lee, make sure your tank is at half, because that'll at least get you further away where you can refill somewhere else.
Mm.
Praise
That's
God.
a good idea.
Praise
Yeah.
God. This is all good
Yes.
information.
Yes.
That's it.
We
We
got
got
any
another
more?
question? Let me look up here. Okay, well, let's do this because we are getting. What do you do now to keep yourself safe? We talked about a little bit earlier about prayer, but is there anything
Uh-huh.
else you all do? Do you call people when you go out of town?
I
Let
do.
them know? Okay.
I do.
Oh
I
yeah, I do
do.
too. And if I know somebody going out of town, I call. I may tell
I
you before they leave. If they don't, I call. I take it you made it safely.
Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't stand that when I ask somebody to call me or text me, let me know you made it home safe, and they don't. I
And
got a
they
girlfriend
don't. Yeah.
who does that right now. I won't call her name out, but she know who she is.
Mhm.
Um. What? Let's see. Say it again, sis. What you asked?
What do you do now to keep yourself safe? And I'm just adding others.
Hmm.
What do you do?
Pretty much all the things we talked
Oh,
about. You
yes.
know.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, those are things.
Mm-hmm.
Because listen, when I was young, the stuff I do now to protect myself, like Sister Bebe was saying, I used to do that. Come in here, and sometimes every once in a while, I don't know why I come in here and check, because I can see who come in and out. But because technology is technology, it may not pick up everything that come in front of that
Yeah.
door. So I have
Mm,
to come in and to go and check around too, and pull shower curtains back and go in closets and
Mm-hmm.
all that kind of
yeah.
stuff
Go in
like
all the
that.
rooms. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because my younger self just lived, well, my younger self was just out there, like protection. What? My idea of protection was nothing that we talking about, you know. So
Mm.
praise Allah for perception and the prophet. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
woo,
Sometimes in the house, well, not sometimes, all the time, I lock my storm door as well as the big door.
Mm.
But it's like a catch-22 with that, because if my daughter and my granddaughters aren't here, I always think about this. If something was to happen to me, can't nobody get in. I'm
Mm.
locked down, and this you gonna have to break the storm door. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to get
Mm-hmm.
a
and that's okay,
whatever. Yeah,
and that's
but
okay.
I lock us in here,
Mm.
lock, and then set that alarm faithfully,
That's right.
faithfully.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, if somebody come in here, they gotta make a lot of noise, as well as the alarm going off, because all entrances are you know secured with alarm. So I feel safe. I
Let me
sleep
give
good at night. I do. I sleep good. Now Allah got me.
I hope that nobody is going days without no one hearing from them, right? We all need to be accounted for every day, that somebody is communicating with you every day, because it could take just a few days and something happened and nobody will know. You go a few days and I wonder how such and such doing, and then you find out such is no longer. I talked to my mother on a Thursday, video we video chat. That's how we normally talk. We video chat all the time. And on this particular phone call, my daughter was on it too with us. And it was actually the last time I talked to my mother, which is why it's important to check on people, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so one day went by, and that was okay that we didn't talk. But the next day, I didn't talk to her. So I was like, Mom, you need to call me back. And she didn't call me back. So I called my sister. I said, why don't you go over there, cross the street, right, and check on your mama. And then nobody got back to me. And then I was at the gym, and I got a phone call from this young girl back in Texas screaming on the phone, yelling, Nikki, your mama dead. Excuse me, Moors. But that's how the message was related to me that I lost my mother.
Mm.
So check on your people
Yes.
regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to let my job know that if there's ever a time that I don't show up and I didn't call, know that that's strange, know that that's unusual. Please reach out to my parents, because we had a employee. I didn't see him. I was training him, and it was on a Saturday, the last day I trained him. He's supposed to have one more day with me that Monday, and he didn't show up. And then when I checked with the sister in dispatch, she said he didn't call. That was strange to me. Now, see, me, I would have been calling his house, his
Right.
phone, and whatever emergency contact. I mean, I just need to know,
Right.
because I mean, to not your job to not show up and to not call. I don't want to assume that you just being whatever the word is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and when I saw that, I was disappointed. I really was. A whole week went by. A whole week went by. And I asked, has anybody reached out? No, ain't nobody called. But you want to give them AWOLs. Come on now, something has to be wrong.
Right.
So that's what I
Right.
told my job. If I'm never gonna not come to work and not call you. So if you don't get a call by the end of the business day, you all need to reach my emergency contact. Something's wrong.
Mm, that's right. That's right.
Praise That's right.
Whew. Well,
That's
sisters, I think, again, I hope that if you are watching this show, that you are thinking about your safety, the people around you, your loved ones' safety, and you are doing the best we can to help each other's out, particularly sisters.
Yeah,
Of course, we're talking about sisters, but it really is everybody. We want to make
everybody.
sure that everybody is safe, because we are, I think it's just said, it's the human family. We all in this together.
Yes,
So we
all
need to
together.
take care of each other, because nobody wants to see anybody hurt, lost, or forgotten,
yes.
because of their safety was taken out. So, any final thoughts before we wrap up, sisters?
I have one. And I just want to say to everybody, get in the habit of having a routine, at least with one person. So that if that routine is ever broken, I have it with my mom. I call my mother every day. Every day. I might miss a day or two. I might squeeze it in, at night, but nonetheless, please have a routine with somebody, so that
Yep.
if that routine is broken, they know to, you know what I'm saying, to do something, come over,
Oh,
send
yep.
somebody over or make some calls or what have you. But a routine is awesome to have
Hmm.
with somebody, at least one person.
That's right. That's right. And I love that, sister, because I was just thinking, some people are like, I don't want to call nobody every day, even if it's every week. Every Thursday, we just text each other or we check in, because that time is only but so much. But if you get to that
Mhm.
point and you don't get that call or text, thumbs up, right?
Yeah,
Because that's a long time, still even in a week, to be missing or not to be heard from. But I get it. Some people don't love the day-to-day thing, whatever. But I love the idea of just checking in with each other consistently. That
man, yes.
consistency, it's
Yeah.
being consistent that allows us to be able to help one another. And so, I just want to throw that out there. But even if it's once a week, I got a girlfriend, we tried to get in once a month, but we talk before that. We try to get together. That's our way of trying to make sure that time doesn't go by and we don't lose the opportunity to be with each other and love on each other while we got each other.
Yeah.
That's right. Praise
Also,
Allah.
that consistency helps with somebody knowing if you saying you're fine, they could tell in your voice that you're not.
That's right. That's right. Because you're
But
consistently checking in on them. So
yeah,
let's be
And
safe,
please
Sister.
stay safe and not endanger yourself for
Still a life
foolish
of a
things.
fool. Mm-hmm.
You know,
trying to be
sometimes
busy.
it's easier said than done. Let me just say that. And I'm talking from experience. It's easier said than done, but we have our instructions and we're supposed to be holding them up to the best of our ability.
That's
Peace.
right, sis. Peace. Thank you. And if you know somebody that don't know these instructions, it's okay to share with them anyway. It's for the good.
Yeah.
It's for good, peace, and happiness. So thank you all for being with us.
These lessons for all those who love Jesus
There,
anyway.
You better
drop
say
it
it, sister.
Anyway.
You better say
anyway. Say
it.
it
Know
all.
thyself.
All right. Well, if you all enjoyed us, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe to us. But more importantly, share this with somebody that needs to hear this conversation. It's an important conversation. But you're going to need some more uplifting. Friday, our Holy Day meeting, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You need some more uplifting. Sunday school, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And next week, on a Wednesday, Sakara Sacred Healing will be doing their show. And then when you're ready to get some more, we're going to come back for the next 2 weeks and we will be back.
Yeah.
Do some more girl talk, real talk, Moorish talk. We love you all. Have a safe and blessed rest of your day. Peace.
Peace, Moors.
Peace.
Girl talk. Real talk.
Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish
Moorish
Talk.
talk. We're building when the girls are talking Moorish talking real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking Moorish talk. Real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls are talking Moorish talking real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking Moorish talk. Real talk. Real talk. Allah want us to talk about it. At least that we can shout about it. We're building our foundation upon truth. I'm thankful now to think about it. Communicate and speak about it. The gospel of salvation is good news. We're building when the girls are talking Moorish talking real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking Moorish talk. Real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls are talking Moorish talking real talk. Real talk. We're building when our Moors are talking Moorish talk. Real talk. Real talk. We're building when the girls
Please
are
tune
talking
in
Moorish
to
talking
Real Talk, Moorish Talk in 2 weeks on Monday at 7 p.m.
We thank you all for being a part of this show and experience with us, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.